draw my life. Woo! So it all starts back in Arizona, you know, where there's like cactuses and sunshine 360 days of the year. Yeah, that's Arizona. And I'm from a little town called Tucson. So my full name is Lynette Sine is my middle name, and my last name is Roscoe. My mom wanted to name me, actually she just wanted to name me Sine Roscoe, which would have been extremely awkward because even when I spell it out now, people don't understand it. They think it's Sine, so it's pronounced Sine, like Renee with a C. There are two very famous Las Vegas magicians named Siegfried and Roy that are really well known for their big white lions and tigers, and they have an assistant who was absolutely beautiful, and her name was Lynette Chappelle, and that is actually who I'm named after. So you might be asking, where are you going with this, Lynette? What does magic have to do with anything? Well, actually it has a lot to do with everything. My dad is actually a magician. That's right, you got it. The top hat, the rabbit, the magic wand, the whole deal. Yep, that's right. So he met my mom. My mom is actually a cosmetologist, which makes a lot of sense now, right? But she actually helped him out in the shows too. So she actually performed on stage as well with him. And so that's pretty neat. I think that's cool that they have that kind of relationship. So one thing led to another, and February 12th, 1987, out came a little Linny. So there I am as a baby. So growing up, I was on stage with my parents, was always in the studio with them while they were practicing for their shows, and I grew up kind of in that industry, and it was really, really, really fun for me as a kid watching. 3 years later, out came my little brother Derek, and he also helped out. We both grew up together doing all of this fun stuff. So there he is with the dove. Some of my fondest memories were my mom just had a ball with us. She would dress us up like clowns, and I would actually help face paint at my dad's shows. Don't forget my little brother. She always used to dress him up as well. It was a blast. So there we are. We're a very unconventional family, little magical family. Growing up, because my parents were traveling all over the place, here, there, and everywhere, we actually were homeschooled. It was my mom teaching us. Homeschooling gets a really bad rap because people assume, you know, you have little social skills or you're not introduced to any other kids, and it's like just, you know, you and your family, and you end up super weird. And thankfully, I think I turned out pretty normal. But 1st through 9th grade, though, I went through that awkward phase of braces and glasses, and I was in the chess club. This is all when I was homeschooled, guys, so they have homeschool chess club, believe it or not. It was actually really fun, but I couldn't even begin to play right now, so yes, you guys would all beat me. I played the clarinet, you know, all the quote-unquote nerdy things, I guess you could say. And then I even did this thing, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, it's called 4-H, where I raised swine for 4 years. And it's kind of like an agricultural club. After raising them, you auction them off and you make money. And that's actually how I bought my very first car, a little red Chevy Cavalier. So once 10th grade came around, which was my sophomore year, my mom and dad decided to go ahead and put me in a private Christian high school, which I'm actually really thankful for, but leading up to that was a little nerve-wracking, of course, because I had never been to school before. I remember going to the orientation and feeling excited, but nervous, and kind of unsure, but this really sweet, really pretty girl ran up to me. I'd never really talked to her before, and she ran up to me and was like, hey, we're gonna be best friends, literally, like just out of nowhere. And that just like made my day. And honestly, my whole high school experience was different because of her, so that was really neat. But I decided to enroll in cheerleading and try that out, but it ended up not working out at all. I was terrible. I was honestly the worst cheerleader on the entire team. I remember people in the bleachers being like, you suck, stop, please. So that was really embarrassing. And I remember one day, my sophomore year, the varsity cheerleaders all crowding around me. And because I was shy, I think I came off cocky, which really wasn't the case at all. And I liked this boy or something, and one of them was like, "You are not good enough. Don't even think about it." And I was so sad. I remember crying and going to my cheer coach and just being like, "Oh my gosh, is this what high school's like? Forget it, I quit." No. Anyway, high school got better after that. I decided to just ignore it because that same year I was crowned homecoming queen. So I was kind of like in your face. Another funny high school memory that I have was getting a little ahead of myself and now having boys all over when I didn't typically. I got detention a few times because I was kissing boys and getting caught or something, which they called PDA, public display of affection. Really funny. I guess not a lot has changed. So after giving cheerleading a shot and that failing miserably, I decided to jump on board with all my friends and go to the dance team auditions. And they were all in dance since they were super little. So I was really nervous going into it because I was like, oh no, this is not gonna be pretty. So I remember I went to the audition and I bombed. Like, it was so embarrassing, you guys. Like, going back to that, my face turns red thinking about it. I just have no coordination. So cheerleading, dance team, not for me. But you know how they like put up the list and like they have all the names of who made it. So I'm looking down and every single one of my friends had made it except for me. After all that happened, I kind of started doing my own thing and meeting new people. And that's when I met my very first love. So he was a baseball player that went to the public school that was across the street from me. Dun dun dun, such a rebel. And I used to sneak over on my lunch break and go and see him. And we pretty much dated the rest of high school. It was a great experience. Then came college. So he was going to a school for baseball back in Iowa and I was staying in Arizona, so I just didn't really see that working out. I'm not one for long distance, so we ended up breaking up, but we are still good friends. Love you, Nick. But that really started to hit me hard because then I was going, oh my gosh, am I going to a four-year college? I really just didn't see myself doing that. Didn't feel like smart enough. My mom, remember I mentioned she was a cosmetologist. She actually was a director at a cosmetology school. And she was like, Lynn, why don't you come to my school? I thought about it and I kind of fought it for a little bit, but then I started thinking about how much I loved makeup. So after cosmetology school, I worked for several makeup companies at a salon called Tony & Guy. I even started that little project called Lacquer Me. I did nail design. But I found myself in kind of a weird spot. I had everything career-wise kind of figured out. I knew what my passion was in the industry. I was having a really hard time finding myself as an individual. I went through an interesting time of, we'll just say, self-discovery. Cut off all my hair and started getting tattoos and was just exploring myself further in different relationships, but found myself very lost and was looking to get out of Tucson and move to a bigger city, and Los Angeles was kind of the area I wanted to end up in. So my mom was really sweet. She is my biggest supporter, so thank you, Mom. I love you so much. And she was like, let's go to the LA makeup show. So we went out there, and while I was there, I came across a company called Dynair Airbrush Makeup. If you guys haven't heard of it, go look it up. I went up to the booth actually just to buy makeup. I had already been doing airbrush, and I handed them a resume. Next thing you know, I was packing my bags and packed up my car and brought cash with me, and we headed out to Los Angeles to work for Dynair. And that was such a blessing. It was really just timing. God was really on my side. I mean, in the first month that I was working for them, I was sent to New York and Vegas and Orlando, and I got to travel, which was really awesome for me because I got to see my little brother, and he is actually Aladdin at Disney World, believe it or not. So that's pretty cool. But alas, one day I came across an ad looking for makeup artists, hairdressers, and nail designers. Immediately that perked my interest. I sent them an email and I was like, me, that's totally me. little did I know it was to create a YouTube channel. So January 14th, 2013, I launched this channel, which was not long ago. It's been a very short time. So there I was, sitting in front of the cameras and the lights and just going, wow, this is really, really exciting. This was now my channel, and it was my creative direction, and very, very exciting for me. I am overwhelmed with the response that I've been getting from all of you guys. It has been so neat. I'm a complete newbie to YouTube, but all of you guys have been so warm and kind and really, really, really encouraging. So thank you so, 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 so much. You guys are the sweetest, and I'm having an absolute blast. You know, what do I have planned for the future? Not really sure. So now it's just Cash and I figuring it out in Los Angeles, doing some exploring, and it's onward the adventure, never the end, right? Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Draw My Life. So please subscribe and tell all your friends to do the same. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next Wednesday.